That's what we're talking about. Was there one up there? I don't remember.
Yeah, there's one coming in.
I meant that day, I forgot.
Yeah.
Trying to
So
trying
we'll
to
just
get
count them up and we'll just replace the ones that haven't paid, and we'll keep a couple extras because that's what we did with the last one. You know, initially they steal all of
It's a
it.
good looking sign.
What's that?
It's a good looking sign, really.
Well, I'm glad you thought so.
I didn't like it when it first came out, but I've gotten used to it.
I'm glad you thought so. We'll leave it at that. All right.
I didn't like it at first thought.
All right, Tony, talk to us about the banner program. Did you come up with anything yet?
Just gotta finish this one thing for later. Okay. So, downtown banner program. Let's see. You had given an example of one of the vendors, the DNS seasonal banners. You'd also indicated we had 18 poles already present.
We have 9 poles that have hardware and we have 9 more that we can put up.
Okay. We have 9 with hardware.
Yeah.
We have 9.
We have the hardware for the other 9.
Or is that something that, like the other 9, would that be something, I know these are just banners, they're not like Christmas lights or anything like that,
Yeah.
but were we going to put these 9 on the portion or engage Georgia Power in any way on these additional 9?
Probably not. We would probably put them on the pole. We know the regulations that require, we can't put electricity on a pole, you know, other than that, I told you we can't put a ladder on a pole.
Okay,
So,
yeah, but, so
Now, the problem
we
is
just
in
have to
the
put these
past-
banners up at the bucket.
just to let you know,
Or
the
lit.
in the past there was a difference between, and there still may be a few that are out there, AT&T poles. Once Georgia Power goes on an AT&T pole, it's their pole. So in the past, that was a problem because AT&T wouldn't allow us to put anything on their poles. So hopefully we've overcome that. There may still be a few AT&T poles out there, but not that I'm aware of.
They're all mean like that.
Yeah, well, they're taking them down. Shock, fine. Yeah.
Well, so I mean, I don't have any, recommendations on any particular designs, but I definitely want to move forward with the, how much, what was the
So they're
cost on the additional 9?
$165.
Well, I know those are the banners, but what about the additional 9? Is that gonna cost us any to put the hardware up on those?
We should have all the hardware.
Okay, so that's not an expense.
Well, to the
expense is gonna
extent we
be-
have enough, it's a closet back there, so we'll assume, we might have to buy a fiber glue that goes on you attach it to the pole with metal bracket fiberglass. There might be some additional costs, but it'd be, the way to look at that's a one-time cost.
Right, and those costs are
Minimum.
negligible compared to,
$79, I think.
I know that the banners, the proposed seasonal banners, would have been 165 each. And do the math on that, you run 4 seasons times 18 poles, because I do think we should go for the 9 additional. That would put us at $11,880.
Yeah.
Just, just on that face proposal of 165.
That's
per
where I
year.
was at.
I certainly believe those prices of those banners aren't going down year after year after year. But it's certainly something that I would entertain doing the banner program on a seasonal times 4. But if we can't get the votes for it, I would say that we should probably do at least two seasons of the year. On the
Well,
banner
either way, we're gonna have to talk about it in budget development. So we can put it on there and then we can cut it up or take it down.
I mean,
Yeah.
we can start with 1 season,
Yeah.
if we
Well,
need
so
to.
we have 1 set of banners now. So we actually have 2. We have Christmas banners, which have done their job, but we have the Railroad Days banners. So, you could say, what I would hope is we'd start enhancing
You
the
got
Christmas banners. They're quite old.
9 of each of these.
What's that?
You got 9 of each.
Yeah, I probably got 12. I probably have 12. I'd have to check Railroad Day banners, but the Christmas banners, I'll have to check, but those they faded out.
Yeah.
The Railroad Days banners, we'll put them up next week. We take them down right after, so that's how we've gotten all the mileage out of them. Where the Christmas banners, they're looking pretty weak, which goes back to Four Seasons and anything else we want to complement above and beyond.
And am I correct? Am I correct in my understanding regarding the budget would have been 10,000 for
We
the
talked about.
banner program, or does that include Christmas lights,
That
or
was
is it
Christmas.
10,000 just
So
for Christmas?
last year, what was proposed was $10,000, which we talked about banners, but we never got any more serious, and they didn't set aside the $10,000. So the same thing, that would be a one-time capital improvement.
Okay.
And my suggestion has been year after year, instead of like a number of years back, we went out and spent, I don't remember, $60,000 or $70,000 trying to catch up. Just spend $10,000 a year. We're not talking about banners now, we're talking about Christmas lights. So that way you're not experiencing all that cost all at one time.
Okay, so to keep them separate, since I know we've got two of these items, on the agenda here, the downtown banner program, I'm in favor of moving forward with the banner program to the extent of whatever all of council will
let's see what the
agree
budget
to
says.
spend, whether we get 1 season, 2 seasons, or 4 seasons.
Get the banners.
Get the banners, yes. So that's how I feel about the downtown banner program.
So the Christmas light deal, just to let everybody know, we've got I need to get back there and count them, but we've got, I think, 8 candelabras that look like 3 candles back there, the old style, the old lights on them, so they would need to be rewired and recoated. But there's an example, we could either use them, extend the poles, which is not cheap, by the way. So we'd have to get a price from Georgia Power, but in the past, when we put electricity on a pole, it was $179, just to say it's $300 now. I'm just picking a number out of the air and then making sure Georgia Power's okay with that. So, and then I'll just tell y'all, no matter what we do, it'll never be enough Christmas lights. So I would suggest you extend them further up Main Street, down Belton Bridge, the main drag. Don't bother to say Athens Street. Why? Because we don't have any street poles on Athens Street. So don't, but continue to stand and then maybe go out to Lula Road. But I can't remember what's the Scottish guy name. He's a good guy.
Milligan.
Yeah, Milligan. He wanted to know why he can't get a street light. Once we start going into each individual subdivision, we can't make everybody happy enough. I mean, that's the problem. So, and as we talked about it with Tony and Chip and the mayor, it takes us about 2 days to put them up. I mean, it's a limit on hand. Right now, we're borrowing the lift from the Forestry Commission. We don't have a lift that we can use.
Yeah. So are we definitely in the Christmas lights section on our agenda right now?
Yeah, I thought you'd finished up. We were
No,
going
I'm
to go
good.
ahead with the
I
budget.
just wanted to make a statement. I think Joe was in agreement with me on the downtown banner program. Sounds
we
like
are.
it, right? So we're good. All right. I just want to make sure we're all communicating
So
here.
we're just going to put that on the budget.
Okay.
And we'll see what they say in the budget with the idea that y'all will come and speak to that and say, this is worth,
The worst thing I'm
we
gonna
think
do,
it's worthwhile.
instead of getting 1 season, we're gonna put City of Lula, 18 poles.
Yeah.
If we don't get more than 1 season, let's just don't do a season at all. It's just City of Lula.
Yeah, and there's
Advertising.
we need to pitch the portion that Dennis had pointed out regarding the
Yeah.
Memorial Day
Yeah.
that you can leave those
Yeah.
up for a longer period
Yeah,
of
the red,
time.
white, and blue, man. You
July
But-
for
yeah, you can go all the way to Labor Day on that bad boy.
You can. Now, on the Christmas lights, you just mentioned something very intriguing and positive to me. Belton Bridge, running down Belton Bridge. We don't have any lights out there currently, right? I mean, as far as Christmas lights,
Not
we
that I
haven't
know
put
of.
any out
No lot.
there. Okay.
Yeah, something
We've
about
got poles. There are poles out there.
Yeah, so that's not the same problem as Athens. But that's a main drag. That's why I was pointing that out.
But we would have to entertain communicating with Georgia Power and purchase the ability to.
So we buy the equipment, they hang it. We, now they haven't charged us in the past to hang them. But we have to put it, we assemble it all, we put it all together.
Yeah. Did they have a?
They got a spec sheet you have to build it to.
So they have the poles that we already have on Main Street. They've already
Oh, yeah.
given the power drop and everything.
Yeah, we had to redo them all.
But Belton Bridge, we would be asking them to do that again
Yes.
for us. Okay.
Yep, and the other thing you have to remember, they have a spec sheet, what you build, I call it a weather vane, but anyway, do the same, very similar. But some poles don't qualify if they're not tall enough, because there has to be enough separation between the lines. So they're the ones who are gonna tell us what type of work. Basically, we call it Georgia Power and say, go out and tell us what poles we could use on Belton Bridge.
Yeah.
Or further on the Old Canadian.
Joe, I'm not telling you anything new. You already know this, I'm sure, but me being a 4-year newbie to Lula, the feedback I get is people come from outside of Lula just to come see the lights.
Well,
They do.
nice compliment we get.
Yeah. I think that's a positive thing. I am, you'd indicated that the budget would be, there's not 10,000 in the budget this year.
That's
That
a
would have to be
capital Just like the banners would be. Those aren't operational, those are capital costs. So when we adopt the general fund budget, then right away, we're showing you what the capital budget would be.
Yeah. Do we have the ability, and I need your expertise on this, do we have the ability to make a budget adjustment and then with the understanding that we're not going to put that, or we could pay for that by not putting it, or putting it at a $0 or a much diminished dollar for the remaining 2 budget years?
I'd be careful about doing that. But you have the ability to amend the budget anytime you want.
Okay.
And certainly the capital, certainly the capital. But
Yeah.
we have a capital sheet that will list everything that's been proposed in years past, and that's what we'll offer as well. And then we'll just change the dollar amounts as y'all see them. And then at the end of the day, you prioritize them and say, which ones can you afford X amount of dollars for?
I just, I wouldn't want to,
But I think the idea, if your idea is that you spend $10,000 a year, it's kind of like my suggestion to y'all is you spend at least a minimum $250,000 for resurfacing every year. I think that's a good guide. Now, if the world comes to an end, you might want to change that. If they pass T-Splosh, hopefully you're going to move that number way up.
yeah. And that's interesting. I was going to mention that I don't want to take any money away that
From
would
what
have been
you already
delegated towards street resurfacing. But again, that often comes out of a different budget altogether.
Same dollar, different line.
Yeah, just a different accounting, yeah. So again, Joe, what do you think? I mean, you think, an investment in the Christmas lights is a good idea?
I've always been.
And I am for it.
Christmas lights.
I am for it.
Back your age, I used to decorate my house for Christmas.
Yeah.
Literally, I don't do it anymore. I can old.
I certainly understand.
Yes, I like Christmas lights.
Yes.
So we talked about,
No.
we were going to get a price, just to let y'all know and everybody in the room, we talked about recoding some of those down there. So that might be a separate price, a one-time separate cost.
But compare our Christmas lights to Baldwin's Christmas lights. I did last Christmas. That's okay.
Okay.
All right, same thing. So we'll place that to be considered for the budget, but I'm getting him to give us a price on those.
Is that the holiday design guy from Cumming?
Yeah.
Or the
No, the
gentleman
guy-
from
He's
Gainesville?
the one in Gainesville. I think I sent y'all
Yeah.
that information on him. He's a good guy. But he hadn't called me back.
I'm sure he's busy. We just have to be the squeaky wheel.
Huh?
We just have to be the squeaky wheel.
Well, now's the time to get him.
Yeah.
You wait too long, buddy.
Yeah.
He's gonna tell you he's busy.
So is that something that that you'd be able to put on your agenda for this week to reach out to him again? I mean,
I called him earlier. I called him Friday. And I still hadn't heard back from him. So.
all we really need is a quote.
Yeah.
Right. And he can make anything.
Yes, he can make anything.
Yeah.
And has. And I told them just on the same subject, that Christmas tree we have is not LED, and we have gotten our dollars and cents out of that. I think I bought that for $700. That's a $7,000 tree, and that was back then. So, and we got that from our friend too.
Same gentleman.
Yep.
Christmas is his business.
Street signage.
Yes.
So I sent, went back to the committee just so everybody know, we're waiting to get a price on those directional signs. Did you like what I sent you?
I did. I did.
Joe, you'd seen those as well. I thought they were really cool.
Yeah, it really comes down to, what price we can get on it and how many we need, unless we just want to start with one.
Well, same thing. I think that goes back, what can you afford? And you start at least with one and then go from there. Same thing. If you put one at the four-way stop, you put one at Belton Bridge, and you put one at 51 and 52, watch how easy I made that sound. And if you keep DOT happy down at 51 and 52, then why wouldn't you? And then you expand it as time goes by.
Yes. We need to, I agree that.
I mean, they got them on every other corner up there in some places, and then some places they don't. So I just think they're a great item, and we've talked about that forever. So
Time to get it done. Good talk about it.
Yeah.
Shut up, Joe.
So we
I
got,
think it's a good,
so we got a
I've
price
seen the ones that are out there.
previously.
And
So the same people that are redoing our, part-time, they're coming up. Cause I sent them a picture, they can't make out everything that was on there, but anyways, they need to size it. I've given them what Cornelia did, and then, Stan is supposed to call me with who did theirs so we can get a comparison. Cause I say we would copy their idea, not their logos and everything else. So same type of thing. I think that's the type of thing you capitalize and put it on, capital budget and see what's approved. And I know they're not inexpensive. My
Yeah.
friends in, Oakwood did one for the Toyota place when they moved. And I think they were the only ones on that sign to begin with, totally different. And I want to say it was like $4,600 for one sign. I found it to be high. But
yeah, well, this is something tangible that people can see. I did, go out into the other local cities that had these and paid attention to some that weren't mentioned. And I think they are an asset. They look great. We just have to, agree on, what design would be there. And obviously, those that are in the business of creating those signs, make them expandable and interchangeable as needed. And I think that's fantastic.
yeah, I think we ought to look at the same thing. It's a capital expense one time. Come up with a logo theme on them and go from there. Some would say we're a railroad town. Maybe it'll have something to do with railroads.